professional wakeboarders in the world have arrived in Fort Worth, Texas for stop number 2 of the MASTERCRAFT Pro Wakeboard Tour. All eyes are on PHILLIP SOVEN as he goes for his 3rd win in just 3 events this season. Standing in his way is the bone crusher, Rathy MALINOSKI, who's determined to knock off PHILLIP off the podium and move to the top of the King of Wake points race. This is the MASTERCRAFT Pro Wakeboard Tour, stop number 2, coming at you from Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome to Fort Worth, Texas, the second stop on the MASTERCRAFT Pro Wakeboard Tour. The Pro Wakeboard Tour is a 5-stop series that ultimately awards the points leader with $10,000 in prize money. At the last tour stop in Ackworth, Georgia, PHILLIP SOVEN convincingly shut the door on a charging Rathy MALINOSKI in the final, earning PHILLIP his 2nd King of Wake win this season. PHILLIP dedicated his win to a close friend who had passed away earlier that week.
Well, I just dedicated my ride to a friend of mine who passed away, Charles Ross. He passed away on Monday, so I knew I had to come out here and I had to win it for him. I know he was with me throughout the whole thing.
The MASTERCRAFT Pro Wakeboard Tour has again returned to the Lone Star State, this time to a private training lake at the Texas MASTERCRAFT facility in Fort Worth.
We're here in Texas right now, and we've got this, MASTERCRAFT has their own training lake here, and to be able to bring a Pro Tour stop to a purpose-built wakeboarding lake is pretty cool. The only thing is it's rained here for about the last month and there's about this much mud on the ground, but the conditions are perfect. I think we're going to see some unbelievable riding this weekend.
One young rider looking to take advantage of the perfect conditions here in Texas is last year's Rookie of the Year, Rathy. Rathy is one of the newest members of the Hyperlite team. Here's what he had to say about his place on the squad.
I'm Rathy. I grew up in Vancouver, Canada, and I ride for Hyperlite.
Red, black, and green patches on my jacket. Martin Luther had a dream. Malcolm was on the scene.
Growing up wakeboarding, Hyperlite was pretty much the team to be on. They had the best riders, making the best boards, so I'm just stoked to be a part of it. So the board I ride is the Premier. This right here is a 141. It's got super wide nose and tail, gets good pop off the wake. 3-stage rocker, just really easy board to ride and lands really soft. So this is pretty much my board of choice, and I think it's sick. So another cool feature about the Premier this year is we put in these jib ribs. It's just little pieces of plastic that go right here. So when you're hitting rails, it just saves your board from getting all scratched up and just gives it a little bit longer life. So I ride the 3DS boots. This is a new boot in the line. It's got a closed toe, so it just gives you a little bit more edge into the wake, a little bit more support. It rides a lot like a snowboard boot. It's really high, but really loose at the same time. So for the 08 season, Hyperlite's got like 3 new boards coming out. The design team's been working really hard on everything and really just tinkering everything and getting everything right to where they want it to be. Check out the Premier and all the new boards coming in the line. Check out hyperlite.com.
After 2 crazy nights of lightning and rain, the pro men were treated to beautiful conditions on the final day of competition.
Perfect conditions too, it's nice out here. No more rain, sunshine. Now it's all up to me to put it together.
J.D. Webb looked really comfortable in his round 1 matchup against fellow Hyperlite team rider Josh Palma. Palma, still recovering from a devastating knee injury in 06, couldn't stand up either of his passes. J.D. would advance. Backup PWT boat driver and part-time wake skater Kyle Ratray put on an impressive performance against Australia's Daniel Watkins. Watkins, enjoying his 10th year as a pro rider and his first as a new father, was happy for Kyle.
I don't know, it's fun out there. Kyle just killed it, so congratulations to him making it through, but I'll be back for revenge.
Derek Grassman knocked out one of his best runs of the year in the quarterfinals, but couldn't put it together against Sean Murray in round 1. The Australian Pro Tour champion Dean Smith put it all on the line against the current Pro Tour leader PHILLIP SOVEN. Dean's bat wing to blind and toe side 9 were easily the best combo of the contest, but PHILLIP SOVEN shut down with one of his strongest 2 passes of the season. Round 2 saw Easy E Adam Arrington take down JD Webb and Rusty Malinoski dispose of Kyle Rattray with a clean technical run. The House of Style Sean Murray was pitted against defending tour champ Danny Harf in round 2. Murray, here with an uncharacteristic slide out on the transfer box, couldn't hang on with D-Block, who busted out a nice off-axis 7 and a perfect toe side 9. The big matchup in round 2 was a ballistic Chad Sharp. Going man-to-man against the tour leader PHILLIP SOVEN, throughout the week, Sharp was unstoppable, hitting more obstacles and packing in more moves in a run than any other rider. Against Phillip, Chad knew he had to pull out all the stops. Here, sliding the seldom hit flat rail, busting a bat wing, then cranking into a 270 transfer on the box. PHILLIP SOVEN, who had yet to fall in a competition pass this season, looked poised to keep his streak alive. Then the unthinkable happened.
Okay, right now we're in the semifinal round, 8 down to 4. Phil Soven's battling Chad Sharp, and Phil just fell. And I've said it before, Phil and fell, they don't go in the same sentence normally, so this is really weird.
Phillip would try to come back from that fall with a nuclear whirly 5, but in the end, the toe side roll fall would knock him out of the competition. Chad Sharp moves on to round 3. When we return, we head down to Orlando, Florida to wakeskate with Hyperlight Pro Brandon Thomas. Later, California's AJ Rassinelli tries to fend off Jimmy LaRich in the Rip It JX Junior Men's Division. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the second stop of the MASTERCRAFT Pro Wakeboard Tour in Fort Worth, Texas. The official personal watercraft of the Pro Tour is the 215 horsepower Sea-Doo Wake Edition. Earlier this week, we did a little wake skating behind the Sea-Doo with a guy they call DJ Drop Top, Mr. Brandon Thomas.
What up, Brandon Thomas from Orlando, Florida, born and raised. Been wake skating for about 6 years now. Since I started wake skating, I did a lot on the cable, a lot behind, people's boats here and there, but I finally talked my parents into getting me a Sea-Doo one day, and ever since then I've been just, moving on and wake skating, and the Sea-Doo is just something a lot easier, a lot cheaper you can get for someone and keep doing this sport without going out and buy a $70,000 boat. Ever since I started wake skating, it's been progressing every year. The past 2 years have been crazy. The tricks just keep coming out week by week sometimes. A lot of young kids out there are killing it now. I started a little bit older, and now there are kids that are starting a little bit younger. And just watching it progress through my eyes, it's crazy. And I just wish the best for it.
The Rip It JX Series Finals up next here in Fort Worth. Earlier, AJ Rassinelli and Julian Cohen knocked out Ryan King and Danny Bernstein in the semifinal number 1. Semifinal number 2 saw Jimmy LaRich secure himself a spot in the final. A good comeback after a disappointing result at the first Pro Tour stop in Georgia.
We're in Fort Worth, Texas, semifinals, trying to redeem myself from the first Pro Tour stop mishap. Stood up 2 sevens and a backside 5. Slid all right and came into the dock dry, so I couldn't ask for anything better.
One rider who knows what Jimmy is capable of in the finals is Cali rider AJ Rassinelli. AJ went on to win the JX final in Georgia and is feeling pretty good about his chances here in Texas.
The win at the last Pro Tour contest was definitely a confidence booster. I'm so stoked that I had been at least in the first guy, #1 guy coming into this contest is big for me. I think Jimmy wants revenge from the Ackworth tournament. I think he wants to come back and take me out, but let's see, it's gonna be a good competition.
So the junior men's final is set, and it's Canadian Raphael Derome off the dock first. Raphael starts things off with a pretty whirly bird. Here's a KGB, but Raphael gets checked on this Indy tantrum to blind. Julian Cohen's up next. Here's a nice batwing to fakie. There's a 270 transfer, 90 out on the box. Julian sticks a crow mob off the toes, but goes down on the switch 540. Not a bad finals run for Julian. AJ Rassinelli is the third rider in this final and does not want to leave the door open for Jimmy LaRich. AJ begins his first pass with the Moby Dick. There's a back lip transfer on the box, right into a toe side Tootsie Roll. AJ finishing his pass with 2 moves, a KGB and a Scarecrow. AJ going wide on his second pass accelerates into a big nose grab, front to fakie. Just oozing style. Coming in front of the judges, here's AJ getting a double grab on the heel side off axis 5. AJ setting up for his double up toe side. What's he got? A 900.
He just stuck a freaking toe 9 off the double up. It's tight.
So, current world champion Jimmy LaRich really has got his work cut out for him here. Jimmy gets things rolling with the big batwing off the toes. There's an extra large heel side KGB. Next, Jimmy throws up a backside 540 and finishes his run with a heel side off axis 5 and a toe side 5. Jimmy may have wanted a 7 there. We'll see what the judges say. Coming back around for pass number 2, he nails a backside 7. That was huge. Setting up for another 7 and going down. So Jimmy needs to stick a 9 off the double up to have his shot at bringing down AJ Rassinelli. Here it is. He's up and around, and no, he pops the handle on the 9. AJ Rassinelli has just taken another rip at JX final from Jimmy LaRich. Julian Cohen grabs 3rd place.
Man, it's a big year for me, I think. Just stepping up and confidence, not being so nervous in contests, definitely helping me out a lot. And just training with great riders like Randall Harris and Ricky Gonzalez, a bunch of riders, so stoked.
With his second win, AJ Rassinelli jumps out in front of the Rip It JX Series standings, followed up by Jimmy LaRich, Julian Cohen, and Ryan King. When we return, we test ride the new X-Star Pro Tour Edition with MASTERCRAFT team rider Parks Bonifay. Then, the pro men go head-to-head in the semifinal of the MASTERCRAFT Pro Tour, stop number 2. Don't go away. Welcome back to stop number 2 of the MASTERCRAFT Pro Wakeboard Tour in Fort Worth, Texas. Making a special guest appearance at this year's Texas stop was MASTERCRAFT and Fox Teams rider Parks Bonifay. While on the road to recovery from knee surgery, Parks found time to test drive the new PWT edition MASTERCRAFT X-Star.
Hey, what up? I'm Parks Bonifay. I am out here in Fort Worth, Texas, sitting in the Pro Wakeboard Tour Edition X-Star MASTERCRAFT. So yeah, MASTERCRAFT is pretty much the first boat company to make a wakeboard boat strictly for wakeboarding. Instead of just taking a ski boat and sort of kind of making it a wakeboard boat, they fully redesigned the whole thing, top, bottom, tip, and tail for wakeboard. They pretty much took the hull and put a big block that sits deeper in the water, so that as your boat's going, your hull's sitting deeper in the water than it normally would, therefore making a bigger wake. Another good feature they have is a perfect pass. I know I ride a lot with my brother, and my brother is not the best driver, so to keep a steady speed, you pretty much just bring it up and it beeps and you're on your way. All he's got to do is drive straight, which he still sometimes has a problem doing. I live on a small lake with a bunch of wakeboarders on it, and all my friends are sponsored, so we have pretty much every other company boat out on our lake. And I can guarantee we're pretty much riding behind my X-Star pretty much every day. To ride behind an X-Star and have all these other boats that we could ride behind, but everyone wants to hop in this just because it notoriously has the best wake. It's the cleanest and it's the easiest to get going. So all my friends are definitely jealous of me that I ride the MASTERCRAFT.
All of Park's friends and his brother Shane are on the dock and in front of the judges' tower as round 3 hits the water. The first head-to-head matchup is between the rookie, Adam Arrington, and the bone crusher, Rusty Malinoski. Adam, Easy E Arrington, takes to the water first and launches into a melon crow boat. Then rocks one of the sickest transfers we've seen all day on the fun box. So Easy E not letting the bone crusher intimidate him. On pass number 2 now, Adam hits a smooth heel side roll to blind, and he finishes his pass with a toe side Pete Rose in front of the announcer's tower. Adam Arrington now setting up for his double up, coming in off the heels and sticks a 900.
Adam just landed the dirtiest heel 9 off the double up. He's stoked right now. Put pressure on Rusty. It's going to be a good heat for sure.
Rusty starts things off with the Melon Crow 5. There's a backlip transfer on the fun box. The Bone Crusher setting up for his backside 5 and he sticks the nose. What is he thinking now?
Second pass, switch heel 7, toe 7, switch toe 7, regular toe 7, transfer, switch regular back 5, skip the flat bar, regular toe 9, switch to 9 up the double.
Rusty back on the water for the second pass, starts things off with the heel side off axis 720. A 270 transfer on the fun box. Oh, Rusty only getting a backside 3 here instead of a 5. Adam Arrington is nervously watching this double up from the dock. Rusty needs something big, and he gets it, a toe side 9. The first toe 9 Rusty has ever done in a contest off the double up. With that 9, Rusty is going to squeeze past Adam Arrington and secure himself a spot in the final. The question is, who's it going to be against? Danny Harf or Chad Sharp? Chad Sharp is the first rider out in round 3 and goes right at D-Block with a backlip on the flat bar. Here's an Indy tantrum to blind right into a toe side Pete Rose. Now, on pass number 2, Chad takes an Indy glide into the flats, then sticks a toe side Crow 5. Looking really good here. There's a handle pass KGB before the transfer box. Nice backlip on the box, setting up for a 7. There's the toe side 7. Chad Sharp with 2 solid passes. Danny Harf knows he has to be flawless here in his first 2 passes to make it to the final. D-Block, 270 on the flat rail, right into a heel side off axis 720. Looking so smooth, there's a backlip transfer, backside 90 out. Coming in off the heels, there's an off axis 720 and a toe side 9. That's the way to cap off a pass. So, Danny looking really good here, setting up for his second pass. There's a massive KGB, a front side lip slide on the box, setting up off the heels. What's it going to be? A nuclear whirlybird. Danny Harf looks to be back in winning form here in Dallas, but can he outride the bone crusher, Rusty Malinoski, in the final?
You know, Rusty really wants it, but Danny hasn't had a win yet this year, had really much of anything, so he's finally back from that injury, so I got my money on Danny.
D-Block is the first rider out in the water in the final here in Dallas. Here's a heel side off axis 720 and the backlip backside 90 out on the fun box. Danny coming in switch, nails the backside off axis 720. His last trick has been the 9, and he goes down on this one in the final, opening the door a little bit for Rusty Malinoski. Danny starts his second pass with a nice bat wing, right into a heel side KGB. D-Block getting up for his double up, coming off the heels, he's up and around, but can't find his feet on the 900. The door's open for Rusty if he can walk through it.
He's zoning right now.
This guy's zone. He's in the zone right now.
So here comes Rusty, the last rider in the event with the most pressure on him. Rusty sticks a clean method Chromo 5. There's a nuclear toe side back roll to blind, and he finishes his pass with a heel side 720. That's a great first pass for Rusty. Rusty back around for pass number 2. There's a toe side off axis 720 and a switch back mode. He pops the handle. Rusty has to be feeling the pressure now. He's going to need at least a 7 and something big off the double up to take the win here in Fort Worth. Up again, there's a toe side 7. He still needs to stick something off the double up. What's he got? An off axis 900 off the toes. And he goes down. This final could be too close to call. We'll see how the judges score it.
4-time X Games champion D-Block, Danny Hart taking second. That means your winner here at the second stop of the MASTERCRAFT Pro Wakeboard Tour and taking over the lead on the tour. Make some noise for MASTERCRAFT team riders, Rusty,
Everyone that competed this weekend, of course, all the other riders, everyone's killing it. It could be a new 4 every weekend, so I'm just stoked to be up here, and thank you all for coming to support us, Fort Worth.
Chad Sharp and Adam Arrington grab an equal third. Danny Harf comes in second. Rusty wins here in Texas, puts him on top of the Indemar Series point standing, followed by PHILLIP Soven, Danny Harf, and Chad Sharp. Easy E, Adam Arrington takes home the Rip It Rail Award for his Switch 270 Transfer 90 out on the Fun Box. We had an incredible Pro Tour event here in Fort Worth, Texas. Join us next time as the King of Wake Series moves on to Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. We leave you with a little feed on the fire by the always entertaining Zan Schwank right here on Fuel TV.